Hi everyone, welcome to Blood, Guts, and Social Commentary. Today will be part 3 of our look at public domain horror films. 1943, Revenge of the Zombies. Scott Warrington and his hired detective, Larry Adams, arrive at an old mansion in the middle of a Louisiana swamp to meet his brother-in-law, Dr. Max von Alterman. That's a hell of a name. Shortly after the death of Scott's sister, Lila. Von Alderman, a Nazi who has been creating zombies for the armies of the Third Reich, has turned the deceased Lila into one of the undead as well, but is surprised when she shows signs of free will and challenges Max's control over his zombie thralls. This one is also a semi-remake of King of the Zombies. 1944, The Monster Maker, a mad scientist injects his enemies with a virus, causing them to become hideously deformed. 1944, Voodoo Man. Dr. Richard Merlot uses a combination of voodoo rite and hypnotic suggestion, attempting to revive his beautiful but long-dead wife by transferring the life essence of several hapless young girls he has kidnapped and imprisoned in a dungeon beneath his mansion. 1944, One Body Too Many. An insurance investigator arrives at a creepy mansion to protect a millionaire who has death threats made against him. 1944, Bluebeard. In Paris, an artist hires portrait models, and after he finishes their portraits, he strangles them. 1945, The Woman in Green. Sherlock Holmes investigates when young women around London turn up murdered, each with a finger severed off. Scotland Yard suspects a madman, but Holmes believes the killings to be part of a diabolical plot. 1946, Shock. A psychologically distraught woman is committed to a private sanitarium by a man she witnessed commit murder. 1947, Scared to Death. From a slab in the morgue, a dead young woman tells the bizarre tale of how she got there through a maze of murder involving a hypnotist, a midget, and a mysterious figure in a green mask. Feel like R. Kelly drew some inspiration here. 1947, The Red House. An old man and his sister are concealing a terrible secret from their adopted teen daughter concerning the hidden, abandoned farmhouse located deep in the woods. 1948, Things Happen at Night. A young girl finds herself possessed by a spirit of a mischievous demon. 1949, The Devil's Sleep. The head of an illegal drug ring uses a women's health spa as a front for his sleeping pill racket. 1951, Bride of the Gorilla. The owner of a plantation in the jungle marries a beautiful woman. Shortly after, he is plagued by a strange voodoo curse which transforms him into a gorilla. 1952, Bela Lugosi meets the Brooklyn Gorilla. Two goofy entertainers meet a mad scientist on a jungle island. This is a real thing, look it up. 1953, Mesa of Lost Women. A mad scientist is creating giant spiders and dwarfs in his lab in the Zarp Mesa in Mexico. He wants to create a master race of superwomen by injecting his female subjects with spider venom. Where do the dwarves play in? There's no hint on that on the summary. 1953, Man in the Attic. After an enigmatic, self-described pathologist rents the attic room of a Victorian house, his landlady begins to suspect her lodger is Jack the Ripper. 1954, Killers from Space. An atomic scientist claims he was abducted by aliens after being injured in a plane crash. 1955, Climax. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. This is an adaptation of The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, hosted by Bill Lundwing. Probably butchered that, I'm sorry. This episode was originally aired on July 28th, 1955. It's season 1, episode 34. The story was adapted for television by Gore Vidal. I'm going to assume not that Gore Vidal. Oh, wait, no, just looked it up. Yes, it is that, Gore Vidal. 1955, Dementia or Daughter of Horror. This film has no dialogue and follows a psychotic young woman's nightmarish experience through one Skid Row night. 1955, Phantom from 10,000 Leagues. An unusual radioactive rock on the sea bottom mutates the ocean life into a horrible monster. When charred, radioactive bodies begin to drift ashore. A scientist and government agent investigate the phenomenon and its connection to a local marine biology professor. 1956, Indestructible Man. Charles the Butcher Benton, a brutal death row inmate, gets double-crossed by his crooked lawyer. He gets his chance for revenge when, after he's been executed, a bizarre experiment brings him back to life and more deadly than ever. Well, a lot of these have been on Mystery Science Theater 3000. This one was specifically in season 5, because it did lapse into public domain really quickly, and we will see that a lot in this time period if you're noticing a lot of things are coming out same batches of years. That's because copyright protection wasn't a huge deal for people at the time, because they, again, didn't realize a home video market was ever going to happen. So things were either going to be in theaters or on TV. That's really how you saw things. So they weren't really thinking there was going to be money made, and we'll get more into that a little later on. 1957, Curse of the Aztec Mummy. The evil Dr. Krups, once again, trying to get possession of the Aztec princess's jewels, hypnotizes her current reincarnation, Flor, spelled F-L-O-R, I'm pretty sure that's how it's pronounced, to get her to reveal the jewel's location in her tomb. Confusion reigns when Krupp and his thugs are opposed by Flor's lover, Dr. Amalda, his assistant, a wrestling superhero, El Angel. Krupp finally meets his match, however, when he comes up against Poptuca, P-O-P-O-C-A, Poptuca, the warrior mummy who guards the tomb. I'm sorry if I butchered all of that. 1958, The Screaming Skull. A newly married couple arrives at the home of the husband's late wife, where the gardens have been maintained by the gardener faithfully to his dead wife's memory. Soon, eerie events lead the new wife to believe she is losing her mind. Apparently, this one was never copyrighted, even though it had a copyright presence on screen. The on-screen notice said it belonged to Madeira Productions, and my guess with that one is they put it on screen but didn't go through the legal process they had to, or something got messed up in the paperwork. Most likely scenario. 1958. Frankenstein's Daughter. Dr. Frankenstein's insane grandson attempts to create a horrible monster in modern-day LA. 1958. I Bury the Living. Cemetery director Robert Kraft discovers that by arbitrarily changing the status of plots from empty to occupied on his planogram causes the death of the plot owners. Since it fell into public domain so quickly, it migrated from drive-ins to TV and gained a fan base there. Eventually, when the home video market did happen, this became a staple of bargain bins, so this is one you'll probably see aired a decent amount. This will conclude part 3 of our look at public domain horror films. If you like what you're hearing, please hit like, comment, subscribe. If you don't like what you're hearing, please leave a comment, let me know. Thank you.